Right, well, hello again, bikers. Another very quick, hopefully very quick update from the garage. I'll endeavour not to waffle on too long. So this is just a quick update, cut straight to the point to let you know that I'm going to rebrand the channel. I've not done this before. As far as I know, you shouldn't notice any difference except for the thumbnail and name will change, but otherwise things should continue as before. So just to give you a note of warning, so why am I rebranding the channel at this point? Well, the short and long of it is I set it up about 10 years ago, mainly for personal use and just to track channels that I'd subscribe to and that sort of thing, and a little bit of personal video. Then as time went on, I bought this beast here, the 500, mainly because with age rolling on, I figure at some point the motocross is going to drop off the horizon. I need to start working on something else. So the idea was to do a bit of road touring, just buy a small road bike because I figured it would be quite a different experience, and get my feet wet on that and just sort of prepare for later life. So that was 6 years ago now. Leading up to the pandemic, I just started to get a little bit of vlogging going. Didn't have the greatest of helmet cams at that point, but started to get going. Then of course you know what happened and it all came off the rails, and so that sort of went on the back burner. Nothing really happened for 2 years. Then I've got going again, and those of you who've had a look around on my channel will see that I've had a couple of trips up to Scotland and then one to northwest Spain, notably the second one with a better GoPro camera. So that was great. I had really hoped to push on with more of that, but it hasn't happened. And it's not that I haven't been wanting to do that, it's just I have ad hoc project-based work. It arrives when it arrives. And between weather, so this year, March, April, were absolutely abysmal in the UK. And then I hadn't had much work in the last 12 months. A really good project came up and it's run May to October, so that's this summer. So anyway, the reality is, as some of you know, with the pandemic closing down my cross-country club, I've gone back to club motocross for the first time in 20 years. And that's been good. I've been enjoying it on a number of levels. Good socially, right? Because there's an increasing number of us old riders out there. So the reality is, over the last 2 years, just because of circumstances, it's really been the dirt biking where I can work on my vlogging, because you need to do it, right? The only way to learn how to do it is by doing it. So I figured I need to do it. So I'd start doing some motocross stuff, and that's been going okay. So at this point, I've sort of thought it's time to be a little bit like the government and follow where the reality is. So the reality at the moment is most of my vlogging is simply because on a day-to-day, week-to-week basis, that's what I can actually do, and what I am doing is being the motocross. So I figure I'll change my channel name to something that means something to people that I'm actually likely to bump into in the paddock. So it'll be Stumpy 200 Veteran Motocross or something like that. So I did consider, should I split the channel, because there's the motocross and there's the road touring, and I think the rule of thumb they say is it's good to focus your channel on one thing if you can, and that's fine. However, I'm not going to do that. A couple of simple reasons. One is I have no intention of putting out lots and lots of videos, so I've barely got enough content to keep YouTube interested in one channel, let alone splitting it into two. So that would be just an act of self-harm, I think. And the other thing, perhaps even more significant, is although I don't meet many road riders who say yes, they ride off-road as well, it's not at all uncommon to come across motocrossers and off-roaders that have also got road bikes. So although there is a bit of a tension perhaps between them, it's not as obvious as you might think. So I won't split the channel and we'll just truck along, see what happens. So is the road riding kind of off the menu? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just been circumstance. I've got a few things in my mind. I mean, the big one that I'd like to do sometime in the next year or two is Norway. Obviously superbly beautiful. So I'd really like to do it, but it's a big exercise. It's about 5,000 miles from where I am in the southeast of the UK up to Tromsø, which is just a bit south of Nordkapp, which is a point of interest to me. So it'd be about a 5,000 mile trip, and at this stage of life I don't want to do panic Norway. I don't want to ride 12 hours a day, so you need a month at least, and maybe a little bit more than a month. So it's just a question, if I don't have much work next summer, maybe I'll go, maybe not, we'll see how we go. But for the road riders, so it is definitely not off the scene at all. So what I would suggest, I mean, I'm no expert on YouTube and I really don't know how it works, but you have this all notifications personalized and none setting. What I would suggest is if you're particularly interested in one or the other side of my videos, just do the personalized, and I'm kind of hoping that what the algorithm then will do will say, oh, okay, this chap's watching motocross videos, so that'll alert you when I put out a motocrossing, because I have all the motocross and cross country on that playlist, and I'll keep the CB500 tours on the other. So that's about the state of the play. So don't be surprised if your thumbnail changes, for those of you who have been kind enough to subscribe. And the other reason, so I'll do this probably by the 1st of October. I'll just put this out to give people a couple of days notice for those that are actually interested. And then one of the reasons I'm doing it now is because there'll be a few developments in October. I've got some quite major dirt biking waypoints in life coming up, so you'll hear about that in the next couple of weeks. On the road side, I am, for the first time after having this little bike for 6 years, wondering about whether to change it over the winter with a view to a big trip to Scandinavia when I can fit it in. Why? One reason really, and one reason only that dominates, and that is I dearly love a 19-inch front wheel, because there's just such a lot better selection of tyres on the sort of 60, 40, 70, 30 that I might want to stick on it to go through Scandinavia, where there'll be gravel roads, but most of the riding will be tarmac. Anyway, that's about it. Thanks for listening, and ciao for now.